Welcome to tonight's postgame press conference with head coach Joe Gallo, the Merrimack College men's basketball program. The Warriors defeated St. Francis this afternoon, 59-54. As always, Coach, would you mind starting things off with the opening thoughts on tonight's win?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, if with these back-to-backs, anytime you can get a sweep, you're happy, and it's always very important to protect the home court. But I thought that was our best defensive performance of the year by far, especially if you go the first 38 minutes before things got a little hectic down the stretch there in the last two. But I thought our guys, for two straight days, were kind of locked in start to finish on scouting report and personnel and game plan, and really defended, pretty much start to finish for two nights in a row.
As a reminder, please use the raise your hand function for questions. We'll start things off with Ian Beauchene.
Hey, Coach, nice win. Congrats on the sweep like we talked about yesterday. I felt like you were led by the big men yesterday. Today was more your smaller guys up front and getting things going for you, especially Mike. Can you just kind of talk about the play of your guards up front today for you?
Yeah, Mikey was terrific. 15 points, 8 rebounds, 7 assists, 2 steals, over 2-to-1 assist to turnover, as well as, the stuff that doesn't show up in the stats, how active he is and how he literally, it's rare that he gives up anything within our zone defensively. So I thought that was, Mike, because of the minutes he's played, he's been a little tired in game twos in a couple other weeks in the past, but I thought he really gutted it out and played terrific, maybe his best game of the year.
Next question, we'll keep it with Ian Beauchene.
How did you kind of handle the tail end? Because I thought today, again, was sort of a similar situation that you faced yesterday afternoon with, again, you had a bit of a lead and then, a lack of taking care of the ball, the inability to finish late. How did you kind of handle that, and what can you take out of both of these games late and finding ways to close games when it matters most?
Yeah, it's something we're going to have to look at because I thought tonight, up until that last minute, we actually, probably from the 9-minute mark on in both nights, we got the lead. We used some clock. I didn't think we executed last night that well. We got guys stuck with the ball late clock and didn't necessarily get great looks. Where tonight, I thought late shot clock, we got some more stuff in the paint. We got fouled. But yeah, that last minute and a half, we're going to, we're off tomorrow. And then, the first thing we're going to do Sunday is probably literally just watch the last 2 minutes of both nights there. And, I told those guys I probably wouldn't have been as nice to them if we lost. But, for these guys, it's 9 games in, 10 games in. Every situation like this is like a first time for them, right? They're all in a new role. It's not, Ziggy, this is his first year taking the ball out of bounds for Merrimack, and Mikey Watkins, it was Javaris going to the ball and Mikey in the middle and as our second cutter, and it's new to them. So I hoped we would have learned from that last night, but it is a quick turnaround. Hopefully 2 times in a row now giving up a lead that we can sit with emotions removed and just kind of watch and learn from these last 2 minutes of both games.
Grant, you got a question?
Yes, hello, Coach. I'm Grant Fluff from Insider Institute. My first question is
Grant. I like the raise hand better than the. I'm like, I taught kindergarten for about 8 months years ago, right? So I don't know what Sully's talking about use the button. Just raise your damn hand. That's good. I like that.
I prefer it that way too, but the team has not missed a beat with yesterday and today's wins, especially after last week's postponements. What's the key to that?
You know what? We've practiced for, from December. We came back December 27th. I don't want to jinx us at this point, but we've gone straight through. So we've had some good weeks of practice. We've had days off when we needed days off. The Wagner postponement might have been a little bit of a blessing in disguise and getting our guys some rest and getting a few more practices in. When you have a a team of young guys. Like, it's funny, all everyone talks about is, oh, we got to get to games, we got to play more games. You don't want to play games if you're not prepared to play the games. So we're now, at a point where we're prepared, and we've seen everything. We've had multiple good practices, and we've kind of hit a little bit of a groove here.
Back to Ian.
Coach, you held them to 31% shooting from the field for the game. Can you just kind of speak to your thoughts as a whole, how you guys handled things on the defensive end of the floor today? I mean, you also generated 14 turnovers as well. I know that's the mantra for you on the back end, and make chaos and whatnot, but how do you feel that you played not only today, but as a whole the last two games?
I thought we forced them into, what everyone refers to as tough twos, and we sped them up a little bit and ran them off the line. And those are tough shots to make. And especially with, guys like Jordan Minor and Justin Connolly, especially after you take a charge or two, guys are kind of looking around and trying to figure out what to do when they get in there. So we forced a lot of tough twos, and then we can't get that damn 3-point percentage defense down. It was really good. And then I think they made their last three. So we did end up as a whole giving up 36% from three again. But, overall, I'm sure the effective field goal percentage number is kind of through the roof tonight defensively.
Grant, we can go back to you.
Yes, and this was my last question. The season has rebounded nicely after a 1-3 start. What do you think's changed?
Just playing, being able to play without a pause, to be honest with you. I think, if you probably go around the country in every league, probably some of the most successful teams are the teams that have been able to avoid, the COVID pauses. You can get a little run, and, games are, sometimes you catch a team off a pause, right? And there's some, you don't want to call that luck, obviously, because you don't want any team to be on a pause. But, anytime you can put a few weeks straight together in a year like this, it's going to really help your cause.